I'm probably live already, right? Am I live now? What's going on, everybody? Seth Miranda here for Light at WPPI 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada with Vanessa Joy. So Vanessa's been really gracious and is going to let me shoot her as a model, although she's a great photographer and a Canon Explorer of light. But I'm really big on speedlights. I'm big on small kits and do big things. I like to have a lot of options, and I'm a huge fan of Light, and I'm a huge fan of Manfrotto. And the reason I'm a fan of them is because they're staples of this industry and people need to know more about them. I feel like there's a lot of solutions out there that already have existed for a long time that you may not know about, so I'm gonna share some of mine with you. And one of the big things in my kit is everything in my bag has to have more than one reason to exist, otherwise it doesn't go in the bag. And one of the great things that Manfrotto and Light does is makes things very compact. Valerie, you're so stiff, walk, it's okay, it's okay. Is they make everything super compact and able to be packed in there. So I have way more footprint in my bag to put more stuff that'll get me somewhere. And they always make it lighter, and they always keep packing and travel in mind, because that's what we're doing. We're never shooting at the same location all the time. You get a job, you gotta be ready. And this is the HaloCompact diffuser, which comes in this case. This actually came out of here. It's a 2-stop diffuser. And one of the things I wanna harp on with Light that I'm a big fan of is all their diffusion material stays consistent. I never have to worry about getting two of the same thing and one shoots warmer, one isn't enough diffusion. It's always same and consistent. And on top of that, you can also change the skin to have a reflector, which is what's in here, but we're gonna open this up a little later. I wanna get a shot first using pretty much Speedlights, Vanessa Joy, and this haul. So what's the one thing that sucks about Speedlights? They're small sources, they're hard sources, and that means that we're gonna get hard shadows. Remember, soft and hard is not about exposure. A lot of people think that if it's harder, I'll just move the light farther away or turn the power down and somehow that makes it softer. No, you're just changing the exposure lower. Hard and soft is about shadow pattern. So if I have Vanessa's amazing face, but a hard triangle shadow from her nose, a definitive shadow, that's a hard light. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rig up one Speedlight, and we're gonna get the hard light, and then we're gonna fix it if you guys are down with that. Again, if you guys have any questions, hit me in the chat. If any of you have followed me on other channels, you know what we're about to do, right? Anything going on in the chat I should know about? We good? Yeah, we're good? Okay. This is a Manfrotto 244 articulating arm. There's a few versions of it. This is the variable friction where I can actually set it how I want. 5/8 male post, and this is a 3/8 female threaded, and this is a 1/4 20 threaded. So I actually put a shoe on here, and now I have an arm for my Speedlight that packs down this small in my bag. But I put it on a stand. Where are you, Val? Get over here. And anywhere I tighten this down, that Speedlight stays. These are ball heads. Hey man, what's going on? How are you? I gotta stop by and talk to you. I'm live right now. I'm live right now, it's okay. But that's one of the great things about Speedlights. Like, yeah, they're not the most powerful source, but they actually kind of are. Yeah, they've gotten a bad rap over the years. You're battery powered, all sorts of things, but they're lightweight and very versatile. You can stick them anywhere, do anything, and build a whole kit out of it. This is one stand. This is a Manfrotto Ranker stand. It's about 9 feet with a female socket. You can do something with a normal light stand as well. Just make sure that it has enough beef to it, that it's not like a travel stand that'll fall over from having like an arm on it. We're gonna grip 2 arms to this though, and I'm gonna show you why. First, let me stop talking so much and shoot something. So what we're gonna do is take this Profoto A1, and we're gonna point it right at Vanessa Joy's face, and we're gonna obliterate it. Well, the reason we're gonna do that is because I need you guys to see what actually changes, not just the fact that we're throwing gear and kit at things. There's reasons for it. You don't just like buy something, plug it into your existing setup and go, done. No, we have to be photographers here. Crazy, right? I know, they want to sell you presets, they want to make you wear a fedora hat. I'm telling you, let's learn what lighting really is, okay? So here we go. Profoto A1, pointed at Vanessa. I have a Nikon D850 with a 24-to-120 full f4 lens, and this is only gonna be a trigger. It's not gonna fire, it's only gonna trigger that light. Let's put it straight into TTL and see what happens. I mean, what could go wrong, right? I got a $1,000 Speedlight, $1 billion in my hands. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? I don't know, what could go wrong? What could go wrong, Vanessa? I'm gonna shoot at, I'm gonna start off at ISO 400, 250 to the second, f6.3. I got a question in the chat?
Can you mount those arms to baby plates?
Yeah, you can. Pretty much, you have to get, I'll show you. Manfrotto actually makes these. This will thread into that socket, and now you have a 5/8 receptor. As long as you have a 5/8 post on a baby plate, boom, you have the ability to mount the articulating arm. And I'm a huge, huge fan of articulating arms for all these reasons. They can be male or female. They can mount to almost anything, and if you balance it correctly, they can pretty much go anywhere. Okay. Can I shoot something now? Are we good? All right, okay. Let's go into TTL. I'm gonna go 250 a second, 6.3. This shot's going to suck. I know it's gonna suck. Don't hate me in the chat. All right. Vanessa Joy's all like, I'm Vanessa Joy, here's 5 reasons. Okay, let me take off my screensaver. And okay, so Vanessa Joy will always look good, but look at that hard shadow, right? If you go closer to the screen, it'll expose better. See this hard shadow? See this definitive line right here? Right in her nose right there? And right here, this chin beard we're giving her? Not cool. I mean, we have this great bone structure and we want shadows, but we want the right shadow. So now our job as photographers is to shape her with our key light, because the key light isn't just the main light. It's the light that shapes our subject. Everything else is to refine that. So I have this 3-foot diffuser right here. Well, you know what that does? If I get my Speedlight to evenly like this, I have a 3-foot light source, because your light source is the last place the light leaves. What? I know, it's crazy. If I bounce light off a ceiling, the ceiling's my light source. If I have a red wall next to Vanessa and I bounce light off of that, she turns red because that becomes my light source. This will become my light source. So let's swing this into place. Everyone watch themselves. I know, it's like a big light. See? Big light, little kit. But keep in mind, this all collapses down. You can fit all of this basically into a backpack and maybe have to carry this stand, but it's still an option out there. Okay, so let's boost this. Vanessa Joy keeps checking her watch.
Oh, people in your Discord are getting excited.
People in my Discord. So the A1 has a modeling light on it, so I can actually see how much of the diffuser gets filled up. I have the dome on there because it doesn't make the light softer, it scatters the light. I want the light to scatter across this diffuser. I want this light to be 3 feet. The bigger my light source is in relation to my subject, the softer the light will be. No matter what, even though Vanessa Joy has an enormous head, a Speedlight will always be smaller than her head. 3 feet, somehow is still bigger than her head. It's amazing. So let's go right back into TTL, and I'm gonna get a dark background. I know this because I'm exposing for the flash, but let's see what happens when I do this. Actually, we'll do verticals, because Instagram likes the verticals. Let's take a look at what that looks like. And now, right away, when we go here to here, look at the difference in the shadow quality, right? Hard shadows on the left, nice and smooth on the right. Look at that bone structure, that crystal smile that Vanessa Joy is famous for. But we can still do better than this. We can still do better. And you're like, Seth, how can we do better? I know, it's crazy, right? We can do better. You know why? Because this stuff packs so far down into my case, I can carry more than one. This is the HaloCompact. This is Lastolite literally reinventing the wheel. And I'm telling you right now, I bought this. They didn't give this to me. I bought this. You remember that.
Yep, and I bought one.
We're just, yeah, you bought one. We're just fans of it. So look at that. Now I have a skeleton for a 3-foot circle, right? And now any skin you want to put on here will be 3 feet, whether it's a 2-stop diffuser, whether it's a silver, white bounce, a deflector, gold, whatever else they're going to come out with. And you can check out a lot of their products on the Lastolite app. It's actually like a great catalog and shows you everything that they put out there and what it really is. Not just like, here's a picture, you figured out. No, they actually like let you know why they made it. So this is now a reflector, right? All I got to do is snap this into place. And just because I got a lot of questions about this, I always snap 2 on either side of the handle, and then no matter what, they all fall into place, okay? So don't be like, oh no, the handle's in the way. Like, no, you just didn't do it right. It's always your fault. Just remember, it's always your fault, okay? All right, so what am I gonna do with this? Well, I have a lot of residual light falling away from Adorama. Wow, I just said Adorama. Yeah, wow. This goes to show you how much I do this stuff. I have a lot of residual light falling past Vanessa. Well, why don't I just get that light and chuck it back in her face, right? What's that gonna do? Well, it can never be brighter than my key light because the light that's gonna bounce back is from the key light, all right? You can control how much gets bounced back in by how close the reflector is to Vanessa's face. And because this is super rigid, look at this, 2 fingers. That's how light this is and that's how rigid it is. How many times you had a circle reflector flop everywhere, right? And the wind's going and it's like all janky and you look super professional, right? Okay, so let's try this shot again. And I'm gonna go right in there with it and take a look. Really clean light on Vanessa, right? Really clean light. In fact, when we go back to where we started, look at this journey we took together, kids. And what did I do? I'm still using the same light. I'm just refining it with the proper tools and the tools that I'm able to carry with me. Now we got these kind of twinkling lights in the background. Why don't we give it a little bit more of a punch? So now I'm controlling the strobe with my aperture. My shutter speed won't be affected by the exposure of the flash, but it will bring in the ambient light behind her, right? So if I slow down the shutter from 250 to the second, which is actually pretty fast, if I slow it down to like, I don't know, we'll just say like a 50th, I could look through this and get an exposure, but I'm grimy and this is how we do things. So we're gonna do it like this. All right. Vanessa Joy is smiling, I know it's funny. All right. Chin down a little bit, yeah. Actually, yeah, I actually see the food court sign, so I really don't want that. But if I slow down that shutter, you'll see, all of a sudden we have more of a background and she's not in such a black abyss anymore. Really, really clean light, right? So this is from one speed light, a diffuser and a reflector. Now you're gonna say, Seth, I don't know, man, that's like 2 arms, you know, what am I doing with this? Well, I'm gonna tell you that there's another total crazy solution to this. Instead of having that reflector be there, this is such a dense diffusion, it can actually bounce light as well. What am I talking about? I know, what am I talking about? I'm gonna drop this down. And by the way, this is a super clamp, which if you don't know what a super clamp is, it's easily the #1 thing on every set, easily. You can clamp to anything, you can grip anything, and this takes a 5/8 post right in there, okay? So getting to know, and also remember, grip stays with you for your whole career. Don't have to be trusted. I'm not putting a $1,000 speed light on shady grip. Is there a question? There's a call. Oh, that's always good. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to twist this. Actually, why don't I drop this? Let me drop this. I'm gonna drop this light. I'm gonna shut it off. You're gonna be like, Seth, but you just had such beautiful light. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But there's more than one way to get beautiful light. So maybe this isn't the kit for you. What I'm gonna show you is something that every time I pull it out, people go, what is that? It's the best thing ever. And it's super affordable and it can fit in your back pocket and it's basically gonna give you a 3-foot light without all the grip. This is the world famous Lastolight Trifold umbrella. This is now 3-foot light source that came out of my back pocket because I'm magic. No. But how are we gonna grip it? Well, there's this thing, which I didn't even know existed till I talked to Will over here. It's the Brawley grip, all right? So it has your shoe, you lock it down, and then your umbrella goes through here. Now here's the key to this that I'm a fan of. Every other umbrella adapter has the light up here and the umbrella here. That means I'm only gonna be getting the top half of the umbrella. With this, it's right dead center. So I'm using the entire umbrella. Does that make sense to you guys? Now, to show you how to focus an umbrella, turn on your modeling light if you got one, and you're just gonna move your light in if you wanna focus it, meaning you don't want so much spill. Maybe I'm having Vanessa near something I don't wanna have exposed, right? Like a background that's kind of meh, or a wall, or maybe other people, right? I wanna isolate her, but if I wanna get that soft light, I wanna spill it everywhere, right? I wanna get that 3-foot maximum right going on. So let's get this gripped up. Oh, and this is the other reason I like this thing. 5/8 receptor, boom, goes right onto a pin. What do you know? There's a pin right here. Who would have thought? I just noticed it. All right. So, any questions in the chat? We good? All right. Oh yeah? Is my mom in there? My mom might be in there. If you've seen my mom, tell her I miss her. No, just kidding. There's a flat part to this. I just want to show you guys this to make it like the most grippable. There's a flat part to these posts, right? That's where you want your pin to go in when you're tightening this down, okay? So just keep that in mind. So because this is a ball joint, I can actually spin that post where I need it and then rig the light. I have to open up the pin though, which you'd think I'd be prepared knowing I'm going live. But why would I do that? So now we're gonna tighten this down. And it can tighten forever, which is great. But I'd rather do that than not have enough threads. And also remember, if your knobs don't have enough threads, they'll strip or snap. So keep that in mind as well, okay? Now I can put this light wherever I want. and just freeze it there. Well, I want Vanessa's face to be kind of butterfly-ish lit, which means I want some symmetry. Now, if you notice, I took the diffuser, I put it down here. You know why? Because it's such a dense diffuser, it can actually reflect some light. It's not gonna be as reflective as an opaque reflector, but it'll give me a good amount. All right, let's do this. Yeah, me too. The Brawley grip's dope, man. And also the Brawley grip isn't metal or anything. It's a really durable, what would you call that? What's it made of? Technopolymer. So yeah, it came right out of Marvel Studios. And, but it's very lightweight is what I'm trying to say. So I always, even if you want to check out my own kit, I always keep 2, 3 of them in there because I never know. You have 2 of these umbrellas like this, you have the softest light ever, and it fits into this much of your hand. It's crazy. I know I sound preachy, but I actually believe in this stuff. I actually bought this stuff because it's gotten me through my career. There's nothing worse than gear that fights you. You want gear that excels what you're trying to do. All right, let's get this shot nailed. Actually, can I get you to move a little bit over this way? Yep. And then turn this way for me. Not so much. That's it, beautiful. I didn't fire. Oh, I turned head B off. I'm a jerk, that's my fault. Know your lights, okay? Let's take a look. Really smooth light with just an umbrella, right? Remember, we started all the way back here. We took this long journey together, guys. I know it's long because I'm out of breath. All right, you see that? That's just with a trifold umbrella that fits in my back pocket. Cliff, are you kidding me right now? Cliff, are you kidding me right now? Give me a hug.
I get a hug. Hey.
Hey, man. I'm live.
You're live?
I'm live.
Oh, good. Then I don't want to say what I was going to say, but you're live.
What, this Pro Photo A1 that's killing it right now? So come down here with me. We're live, this is what happens. So see the shadow patterns? They're broken. They're actually fading down, they're gradating. See how we have this nice cheekbone right here? Right there? Look how crazy sunken in it is here. Now, neither one of these is wrong or correct. You have to decide what your style is, right? On the left, a really hard light might work really nicely for like a sunset situation where the organic light looks harder. You might like that for like a shady American Apparel ad if you want to make the model look like they're a runaway, you know, something like that. Or you might want to go really nice and soft and make someone who's maybe not used to having their photo taken at like, let's say a wedding or corporate headshots, make them feel like the light is doing most of the work and they're eased up. So keep that in mind. This is just simple kits. I can't recommend articulating arms enough. I can't recommend the HaloCompact reflector enough or the trifold umbrella. Yeah.
It looks light enough that you don't need a sandbag. Is that the case?
So I don't have a sandbag on here because I don't have a sandbag. But if you're looking at this, right, you have to realize that's the beauty of a Speedlight. And if you look at the way I have it gripped, you see this angle right here? That's keeping most of my weight this way. And if you look down, the weight goes over the leg. So bend the elbow, right? Physics, kids. Bend that, and then all that weight gets transferred this way instead of doing completely laterally out, okay? Remember these things. And when you learn grip, you can work anywhere. I'm telling you, you can work on film sets, you can assist for people, do your own shoots, figure out ways to carry less gear but get more out of it. Learn how to grip a little bit, okay? And Manfrotto articulating arms are super versatile, being that there's 2 ball heads, 5/8 post, female threads in them, and variable friction. On top of that, it's Manfrotto. They don't fail, okay? If you do use cheap grip, you're waiting for the day your lights hit the ground. I promise you that. I've been there, I've been broke, I know what it's like. I'm just saying. I mean, you're talking to a guy who used to use duct tape on Speedlights in the street, so I know what it's about. You agree with that, right?
I agree.
Yeah, grip goes with you everywhere.
What skins come in the kit?
So every kit, I believe, is this, what do you call it, skeleton? The frame, and you get to choose which skin. One kit is the diffuser, one kit is the reflector, and I'm pretty sure they have new ones out, like gold, deflector. Deflector is really cool where one side is actually a diffuser and the other side is a reflector. So in this situation, it's perfect. I just used it as a diffuser, and now I'm using it as a reflector. The deflector is probably the best. For me, the deflector is really awesome when shooting zombies or horror underneath lighting, believe it or not, because it lets residual light fly past, but still gives me enough subtle bounce back for this like Halloween-ish looking light, but not overly Halloween. There's still light theory going on there, not campfire lighting. Yeah, so you can buy, oh, that's right. You can buy the skins. Can I get this? You can buy the skins individually, which is what I did on. Actually, I used to have just one frame and 2 skins, but then I was like, this is awesome, so I bought more. It's killer. I mean, the thing you're gonna remember is a circle reflector is the first thing you can do to control your light, right? And if you have a circle reflector that you don't have to question whether you want to bring it or not, how many times you had a disc that's like this and you can't cram it in a backpack and you just leave it at home? This, you always know you can control your light. Yeah.
How do they make a black skin?
Do they make a black skin? No. No, they don't make a black skin, but honestly, it's pretty easy enough to just block light if you needed to. You can just clip any type of substrate that's light blocking, like duvetine, or even if you're not using hot lights like black construction paper, velvet, all sorts of things like that. It's not that hard. Blocking the light is easy. It's refining the light that's hard. Okay, cool. We good? Any last questions in the chat? If you guys have any questions for me, you can find me at Last X Witness on right here. Don't forget to check out Vanessa Joy on everything on the planet. And we'll see you guys with some more stuff from WPPI. Check out the Last Light app. Don't forget to check out pretty much everything that they make. Don't just take it for face value. Really look at it, because they really think from beginning to end how it can elevate everyone's shot and what else you can do with it, not just what initially it was made for. Okay, guys? All right, I'm Seth Miranda. Thank you so much. I will see you guys next time. Peace.